All right, here's homework help for 4.3. So in the following exercises, find the x and y intercepts on the graph. So you want to be able, when you see a graph, that you can zoom in and say, here is my y-intercept. So there's the y-intercept, and then write it as a coordinate, 0, 3. That is my y-intercept, where the graph crosses the y-axis. How about the x-intercept? Right there. So the x-intercept is at 3, 0. Don't flip those. Okay, how about number 155? In the following exercises, find the intercepts for each equation. So I recommend doing a nice little t-chart here. X and y, plug a 0 in for x. So when x is 0, what's y going to be? You got to be careful on this one. So 0 equals, sorry, not 0 equals 0 minus y equals 5. I'm trying to solve for y. So what does this give me? Negative y equals 5. Divide by negative 1, we get y equals negative 5. Now, you don't have to show work on these. I know many of you can just cover up that and see that y is going to be negative 5. The next one is when y is 0. So when y is 0, what is x? Again, you do not have to show work on these unless I explicitly tell you to. So x minus 0 equals 5. And I'll get x equals 5. So those are my x and y intercepts. Now, really what we're gonna do with these is using the graph. So doesn't ask this on this one, you get this for free. If I need to graph that, I go ahead and label x and y. We're gonna plot these two intercepts. So when x is 0, y is down 5. Y is 0, x is over 5. I'll keep the scales the same in this case. And then I'll draw a nice straight line through those 2 points. And so when I want you to sketch a line, that's really all I want. You don't have to put all the scales on there. All right, just put the numbers we care about. If it helps to put a couple numbers, you can. Okay, so let's use that to help us out with 181. So if you're just watching, try to pause the video here and see if you can do 181. Sketch out a quick graph by finding the x and y intercepts. Welcome back. Let's take a look at this. So I'm going to go ahead and do my little t-chart. So I'm going to plug a 0 in for x. When x is 0, what is y? Now, what do I really do when I'm doing these? I just cover up the x because it's a 0. It's not going to be there anymore. 2y equals 4. I can do that in my head. 2 times 2 is 4. So y is 2. If these become kind of weird and wonky looking or get fractional or really big, you can always just plug them in, right? 0 plus 2y equals 4 and solve for y. Divide both sides by 2, and you get y equals 2. That's where we got that. Next one, you plug a 0 in for y. So when y is 0, what's going to happen? We're going to cover up that 2y term. We get x equals to 4. Again, if you need to, just plug it in. We can say x plus 2 times 0 equals 4. This term goes away, and I'm just left with x equals 4. So here are my 2 coordinates. Let's graph them. There's x and there's y. So 0, 2. Here's 0. I'll go up 2. Call it 2. Label it. If you need to put another tick mark there to make you happy, you can. And then y is 0. X is 4. I'll go about double that. I don't have to. Put a 4. Put my 2 dots. Line it up and draw a straight line through those points. Don't just draw it in between the points. Make sure it goes through a little bit. Otherwise, it ends up being a ray and not a line. Kind of a technicality. All right. Hope that helps. When the equations are set up this way, with the x's and y's on one side, this is probably my go-to way to graph these. It's just easy because I'm plugging zeros into both x and y's, and they cancel out fairly nicely.